And that brings me to Sheeta, who I think would now like to take over and introduce our speaker for our first photography showcase. All yours, Sheeta. Thank you very much.
And thank you. And I thank you for joining us today in our very first NMUG Photography Showcase. And today we have Robert Kenedi, enthusiast and award winner photographer. And I am very honored to have Bob here. I've seen Bob's photos for the past years, and I think they are absolutely amazing. I asked Bob if he would could he do a presentation to give us some tips, some education on how he does what he does. So first of all, let me introduce Bob. Robert Kenedi, better known by his friends as Bob, was born in Hungary 8 years short of a century ago and crossed the Atlantic in 1957 as a design engineer. Bob retired in 1997 and has been a member of NMUG in Naples since. Bob's love of photography, dating back to his teens, turned into his preoccupation in retirement. He is an active, award-winning member of 2 camera clubs in Naples. Photographically, Bob's aim is to live the contemporary digital version of Ansel Adams's best-known quotation: "The negative is the score, the print is the performance," and as such, utilize computer power to maximize the quality of the results of his photography. With that, we welcome you, Bob, and I hand the screen over to you.
Thank you for your introduction and for the honor to be invited to speak to this audience about photography. Photography, I see some interference up here. I don't know whether you see that or not.
We do not.
Okay.
Is that okay? Go ahead.
My as Sheila mentioned it, I consider photography my preoccupation in my retirement. And photography has been my interest through my life. And I now consider myself as, I'm just moving off from the screen some stuff. I'm an enthusiast because I photograph for the joy of it, but I take it as seriously as if it was my occupation. I like to compete particularly in jury exhibits and in our very frequent competitions, club competitions and statewide club competitions. We have an organization in Florida, the FCCC, which takes all the photographic clubs and competition within there. You see a circle down here in the lower circle, in the lower corner. That is indicating ribbons earned by the particular photograph that I show. If the letter there is F, that's Florida-wide. If the letter there is D, is the first letter in DPSIG, which is a large club, photo club in Naples. This is the image that kind of fired me up for competition way back in 2007. I had this image, and a friend, actually a member, many of you probably remember Vicky, recommended me. She is a Marco Island, she was at least at that time, Marco Island resident, and recommended me to submit this picture. And to my great surprise, it won the Best in Show award. So after that, many competitive exhibits followed. In this one, I will show this picture. It won first place which was a blue ribbon, so you can see a blue circle for that. Also, in Florida, we had for a number of years, and still have the exhibit at Rookery Bay, which is a research organization for well, water conditions in the area. And it was Clyde Butcher, well known, at least in Florida, kind of the Ansel Adams of Everglades. And the picture I showed earlier is partly covered, one honorable mentions, and this other one as well. My photography is very largely about nature, and water usually takes a major role in there. Already mentioned several times, Ansel Adams had real significant influence on my photography. One of his statements, "We make, not take our photographs," is my chosen motto for this presentation. He and his contemporary photographers made their photographs, whether they admit it or not, many of them did not, in their darkrooms. Us, we have the luxury to make our photos while we are processing them on our computers. I process them on my Mac. This first image is an illustration, intended to be an illustration, how I interpret that statement of making a photograph. The camera captures image data and gives it to us in either RAW or JPEG file format. JPEG is a standard interpretation. It's a beautiful, strong, good interpretation, but it is a standard one. It knows only the technical aspects of the picture. Ansel Adams also said, "I make photograph to give the viewer the equivalent what I felt." Yes, I want to give my impressions. I want to express my impressions to my viewers. But this image does not reflect my impressions. And the reason for that the image file does not contain my impressions of the character and the mood of the scene or subject that I'm photographing. Also, we see two-dimensional still pictures, and life is three-dimensional and dynamic. Motion effects, yes, good photographers capture motion effects, but almost every one of the motion effects can take very well some improvement, some emphasis, some way of calling attention to it, to lead the viewer's eyes there. So my goal is, when I am at the scene, to observe and be very mindful and remember what I see there, particularly those aspects that I know the camera will not see, or the camera takes the reflected light. We really perceive the image in our mind. So that is what making a picture is attempting to bridge. So once I interpreted, this is how my picture of Peggy's Cove in Nova Scotia, taken in 2015, much better reflects my interpretation, my